We are in Everglades National Park here today. Lucky to have this be the second national park I'm in today. Dry Tortuga was the first, down here in southern Florida. So we are going to head into the Everglades. You can see the beautiful marsh behind me, and we'll see what we can get ourselves into. Let's get outdoors. We've just entered the park, but you can see what looks like to just be an endless grassland, when in actuality it's a massive river that's only a couple inches deep and flows from south central Florida the whole way into the Gulf of Mexico. Here are some beautiful little flowers, and they have the biggest grasshoppers I have ever seen in my life. Good Lord, they're massive. I'm not exactly sure of the species. I'll look it up and put it above, but there is a very cool turtle that we saw along the road driving into Royal Palm here in Everglades National Park. Here is a bit of a lily pond. There you can see some fish swimming. I don't know if you can see them through the water or not. Well, vaguely. I'm gonna get out and go for a little walk. We are walking on the Anhinga Trail, and what I've learned is that Anhinga is another word for what those of us who live in the Northeast would call cormorants. They are a black bird that dive to feed on fish, and they are very prominent in this area. All right, everyone. There is a brown anole, a little lizard that's very common here in Florida. The interesting thing is that the grasshoppers I've seen are just as big as these brown anoles. As I had mentioned before, this is a massive river, and here you can see the water flowing. Over here, hopefully, the water is clear enough that you can see some bass swimming upstream there. Very interesting to see. Amidst this entire sea of green, there are splashes of color if you're willing to look for it. Purples seem to be one of the most common, but I've seen yellows and some whites. And ironically, there is yellow right now, but the water lily has closed up for the day. Let's see what other colors we can find. I'm not exactly sure what species of plant this is. There is a pale yellow, almost white. I'll do some research, figure out what it is, and list it above so that you can learn exactly what the flower is there. Curious if it will become a fruit. Here you can see a plant. These plants are called pond apples. And there's the first of the pond apple fruit that I have seen. I'm gonna have to look it up to see if I can determine if it is edible or not. Well, at least for humans. Here are several more that are holding pond apples. I'm not sure when it happened, but at some point a fire definitely came through here. It wasn't totally devastating, but it definitely had impact on the understory. So they were able to keep it to the road. But something that I found interesting was that it even burned on the island. So I'm not sure if it was a controlled burn or if it was a lightning strike or something else, but there was definitely fire that has occurred here. All right, outdoorsmen, wrapping up the trip to the Everglades. We were a little pressed for time and it was unbearably hot, and I could not believe the size not only of the grasshoppers that we saw, but the mosquitoes that didn't make the video. They were massive and they clung to you like leeches. Ironic, they also suck blood. It was a great time to be there, but we were both a little worn out, and we're looking forward to getting back and sharing a little more in-depth experience in the Everglades. So hope you enjoyed what we shared today, and until next time, get outdoors.